broadcast. Like that said, good morning. It is Friday the 13th, if you don't know that. And it is Red Friday morning, the 13th, which might make it even more special. We have a great weekend show planned. We're just kind of hoofing it through whatever we do this morning. So, Dr. Rhodes, do you want to give the Red Friday salute, or do you want me to give the Red Friday salute?
You can start.
Okay. Well, we were a red, which stands for red, which is remember everyone deployed, both foreign and domestic, both active and retired, both first responders were thrown into the mix because they have an important job, as well as the men and women of ICE and you name it. The men and women of heating this morning are not part of Red Friday, but Randy will decide to tell you that later or
Yeah,
right now. I don't know.
it's very important that we do show the respect of these men and women in uniform, especially when you have idiot Democrats who won't stand up for American citizens in a big congressional meeting where they're supposed to show that they do love our country, and they can't stand up for our country, can't stand up for our American citizens, and they're certainly not standing up for our military because when they shut the military down, it didn't affect overall the military personnel, but it did affect the Coast Guard as well as Homeland Security to a certain degree. So right now, with what we have going on with the terror attacks hitting our mainland, with Russia subs off our coast, with the Russian fighters flying over Alaska, our Coast Guard are out there protecting our coastline for free. They're not being paid. Okay. And the sad thing is that they have bills to pay. I mean, everything they do is not paid for by the government. So if they own a home or whatever, a car payments, food, they're not getting that for free. And I very seldom don't. I don't believe, and if they do, is God bless them. I don't think the people they owe money to, as far as the banks and loan companies and so forth, are going to forgive them. Oh, well, I know you're not getting paid. So I tell you what, take the next 3 months off, and then we'll catch up at the back end. Somehow I don't see that happening, but if it does, that's great. It shows that they do respect them. But for our senators and congressmen to say our military personnel don't deserve an income is ridiculous, especially when they, every freaking year they can, vote themselves a raise.
They do.
You know?
They do that anymore.
And right now we're in combat, and not just with Iran. We just finished up in Venezuela. We're looking to take on Cuba shortly. We're looking to the Congo and other African nations where we just did some things, might still be doing. Obviously, the cartels. We're looking at perhaps something going to Mexico. So, unfortunately, it's time for our military to shine, which they do tremendously. But, it's a time where I never thought I would see another major combat. My president always kept saying he wants to keep us out of wars, and here we are in many, many different kinds of conflicts and wars. But we do have a military that is beyond compare. It is powerful. It has all the neat, fancy tools that a military deserves. All the fancy stuff that's going to try and keep as many of our men and women out of harm's way. Now, having said that, the last I saw the count was at 7 dead. And I want to talk about that in a second. 7 dead. Yep. And there were many dozens who were wounded. But as I understand from this morning's Newsmax update by the Pete Hesteth and the Major General Kane, that most of them are back in combat. They were treated for their minor wounds. They're back on duty. So that's good for that. They did admit that it does appear that we did hit that woman's, that girl's school based on poor information that was outdated. So they said they're going to try. They're going to do better with making sure the information they have is up to date and accurate. So in a sense, they did take blame for all those young girls who were killed. But I didn't like the way they said it though. If I heard it correctly, and I'm pretty sure I did. They said that, well, you're at war, and in war things happen, and people will die, people get hurt, and unfortunately, that's what happened here. Try to explain that to a mom or a dad. But I hate to say it, but the devil in me said this to me. He said, "Well, Randy, here's all those girls who are dead, who won't have to live the life of Sharia law. They won't have to deal with men mistreating them. They won't have to worry about wearing all that." So I know that sounds terrible, and I'll probably go to hell for it. But when you think about the way the female,
Well, you're going to hell for other things.
well, that's true too. But when you think about the way women are treated in Muslim countries, you know, maybe I'm not going to go there. But
Don't
it,
go.
it was a mistake. We are admitting to it, and we're going to promise to do better. Now, going back to the seven servicemen who were killed,
Yeah.
and Trump showed up at the exchange of the bodies from the plane to the Dover Air Force Base,
Yep.
where the mortuary is. I'm sorry, he should have took that hat off. Wearing
He
that
should have.
damn, wearing that damn Trump hat. You know what he's doing? He was advertising it. He didn't take his hat off to show solemn exchange of the body. Then take the hat off to show respect. Now the military men, they keep their hats on. That's respect. But to have a baseball cap on, advertising, your clothing that's for sale, he was wrong,
Okay.
and he rightfully got nailed for that by the press. But having said all that, the war goes on. Today, we were supposed to be hitting them harder than we had hit them before. They said that their navy has sunk to the bottom of the ocean. That they're using small boats now to lay mines, which Pete Hegseth said he's going to make sure they get also join their friends down at the bottom of the ocean.
Do you think that Iran is going to become the 51st state?
No. First off, it's too far away. I see it more of a sense that we're going to go there. We're going to kick ass. We're going to replace the government, hopefully with someone who's going to actually like the West and is going to remove the Sharia laws and like it was before under the Shah of Iran, where the people actually wear clothing and enjoy Western way of living. I don't see it as a 51st state.
Okay.
Canada, maybe. Cuba, yeah. Yeah.
Do you think that ISIS's job will get tougher because of Iran? Do you think they will actually start doing more of what they're supposed to be doing, which I know people don't like, but you got to remove the criminal element somehow.
Well, I did do some looking into the training that the men and women of ICE go through, and I'm sorry, I think it's like 58 weeks. I think it's too damn short.
Okay.
I think it's too. I think, especially since you're carrying weapons, you're thrown into a situation where you're going into a city or a town where the folks there hate your guts, and they're going to be driving you nuts. All the damn horns and whistles and banging the metal cans and so forth. And it takes a certain amount of a person's mental capacity to stand there at attention or at ease and not wanting to shoot everyone in front of you because you're going nuts by the noise and being spit on and called everything. I think 58 weeks is too short. But it is a hell of a job. They volunteer for it. You figure the Biden administration left in 25 million illegals, and we're only in like 1 or 2 million who have been sent back. So we got a long haul ahead of us.
Yep.
I think the FBI should get more involved because these people, for the most part, are terrorists. They're criminals. They're murderers. They're rapists from where they came from. And I think the FBI needs to get in and get more involved. But at the same time, you have the local governments who are protecting them. You know, they're
That's
not
true.
they're not allowing the ICE and so forth to go into the prison cells and get them out from there. They're not arresting them and turn them over to our people. They're making us come and get them. And then when we do get them, they fight tooth and nail for us to release them. To be honest, I'd say screw them. I say, you know what, Mayor, Governor, if you want that in your territory, fine. We're gonna build a wall around your city. We're gonna build a wall around your state, and you can have them. No one crosses over. They cross over. They're all on our turf, and we're going to arrest them.
We're not going to allow it in the United States. That's what I think. Period. End of sentence. We're done. This is bullshit. We've been doing it in blue states or red states even might have them, but as far as I'm concerned, this is just bullshit that we've been doing. We made a safe haven for people who either need to leave or be escorted out and have the right to be here. I mean, when you look at the criminal element of the undocumented immigrants, as they call them, most are illegal. Most shouldn't be here for what they did, or they should be in a jail for what they did. And we need to start sending a clear sign to people. If you are a criminal where you were and you come here and continue or go up the spectrum, you will in fact be arrested and you could be detained for a very long time here in the United States or just kicked out. And we need to get serious about these ones who say they've been here 12 or 13 times. It just doesn't happen anymore.
Well, I do like the fact of what California just finally did. California has removed the licenses, the CDL licenses of 13,000 immigrants because they don't speak English, they don't read English. I mean, how do you expect them to drive safely and on the roads? So thank God they finally got their act together on that. Now, I would be all for, first off, if they're illegal, get them out of our country. But if they're here legally, but don't speak English or read English, take away their license, give them a permit, run them through training school, get them to where they're fluent in English and reading and writing and speaking, so they get back on the roads safely.
Well, they can do that if they're illegal. Most of them are illegal. They somehow got a driver's license that they should not have been given, or they came into the country illegally and got that job, which they should not have gotten. So, there's a difference between a person who comes into this country, doesn't speak the language, is willing to learn the language, and may need help along the way until they establish themselves. That's okay. At least I see it in my head as that's okay. But there's a far cry between worrying about constitutional rights for illegal immigrants who are doing whatever they want while they're here anyway.
Yeah. The companies who hire these people who are first off illegal and don't speak read English, they're doing it because they're paying those truck drivers a lot less money than a American CDL licensed driver. Mm-hmm. I've seen videos of all. I follow different truck driver videos, and it's amazing me. That they're showing these videos, and the American guy, he's driving, and here comes this truck down on the wrong way towards him, forcing him off the road. Or he just came across an accident and he's filming, and here the illegal is taking the name of the company off of the truck, or he's removing the numbers associated with the license, because they're trying to hide who they drove for and so forth. They and in that respect, the driver knows they're wrong. The driver knows they're illegal, and they're trying to cover it up.
If they're taking lettering or numbers off the truck to hide the fact that they're illegal, they should be treated as the illegal that they are. I mean, you can get offered any job you want if you come here, but if you're not here legally, you shouldn't get offered the job in the beginning. And if you can't read English, it's the same in the cab game. There were people that didn't speak, read, or write English that went through the class until the day of the final examination and then said, I don't read English. Well, then you're not going to become a cab driver, is what they were told. And it should be the same, like you said, through training in trucking. If you don't speak the language, read the language, write the language, understand at least enough to be a truck driver, then you should not be one.
I mean, when we as Americans, like when my dad was stationed in England for 3 years, so because he had a military license, he was able to drive in England, but he had to go through some training courses because they drive on opposite side of the road, and their street signs are different from ours. So when my mom and my brother and I followed my dad to England, my mom wanted to drive, and she had to go through a training school. She had actually on the back of our car, they put this big ass red letter L, which stands for learner. And she had to have that on for several weeks until she knew how to properly drive on the roads.
Right. We're putting people behind something that they evidently know nothing about, behind the wheel, something they know nothing about. And I don't see why people in this country do it, hire illegals to drive. I mean, sooner or later, they're going to get pulled over. Sooner or later, they're going to make a turn that takes them into someplace that they didn't mean to be in, and they're not going to be able to get out of it, or they're going to be on a roadway like Storrow Drive in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and they're going to go under that bridge that's there and take the roof right off the truck, or not wedge themselves in there tight, or they're going to go to Logan Airport and forget a Terminal B that you have to be in the outside lane so you can fit through, because you won't fit through the right lane. And buses are notorious for forgetting that and taking the roof off of the bus.
But, the owners of the companies should also be fined or even shut down, especially in the case of the truckers who cause accidents and especially cause death. It shouldn't just fall on the driver, because he, obviously he's wrong, but he wants to at least make a living for himself or his family. But the company who hired him and gave him the keys to that, the 18-wheeler should be held responsible for the death or the destruction of whatever's going to happen.
That's right. Very true.
When I was in high school, one of the things that every student did was they wanted to learn how to drive, right? So you got your permit, and with a permit, you're allowed to drive as long as you had someone 18 years or older who was licensed to drive. But our schools also had a driver training course. It was a 6-week course. You sat through. You had read a textbook. You saw videos. You saw horrible videos of a car accident showing what could happen scenario. We were taken to places where they had all the wrecks after the fact to show us what would happen. They actually had these like you're doing with the video game for driving a car, but you actually sit in a chair and here's this console in front of you with a video.
Simulators.
Thank you. And you had to go through that. And not only did it help you learn how to drive and be better, but also at the end of the day, when you went to get your car insurance, you got a discount because you went through all the training process.
Yep. Hold on just a minute. I locked myself out of the studio trying to do something that I had to do, so I got to wait and bring myself back in.
So this has
There I
popped
am.
across
I see
the
me.
news. So this has popped across the news screen. Cuba says it's going to release 51 prisoners in the coming days. So do we know who they are and why they're being released?
No, we actually don't. Wait
Let's
a minute.
see. Well,
Give
first
it a
off,
minute.
for the last 3 months, Cuba has not received any oil. I wonder why that is. See, maybe because we can control all the oil, and that Trump said on Monday that Cuba's in deep trouble, and he threatened a friendly takeover of the Caribbean country. I see Cuba becoming a 51st state, or at least a territory.
Oh, wait a minute. That's what we did. Hold on a minute.
So I'll keep talking. Um,
No, you're
you know,
okay
you,
now.
you know, it doesn't make sense. The price of oil of the barrels is going up, which means the price at the gas pumps is going up. But if we are, and I just recently heard that we are an exporter of our excess oil. So why are we exporting excess oil out and buying oil in? Why don't we just keep our excess oil here and let the prices of the oil drop down? Uh, the only reason why I don't think we're doing it because the oil people want as much money as they can get. I mean, it makes no sense to me. We have all this excess oil, or drill baby drill. Um, we have the 171 trillion barrels or whatever it is of oil excess that he's releasing. I don't understand why the oil has to go up. We have all this extra oil. Why is it going up?
I don't
Oh,
know. Because if you look at what they're saying, the prices to fill our strategic reserves were based on September pricing. So, there shouldn't have been any reason to raise the prices in what are we in March of this year? There shouldn't have been any reason to raise the prices the way I said. But I also think that a lot of times the price of gas is tied into politics, and we need to stop that.
well, here we are honoring the men and women in uniform. I just had this come across my screen.
Okay.
Four dead after U.S. refueling aircraft goes down in western Iraq. What a hell of a way! There's six people on the plane. They're looking for the two. They recovered four bodies. Can you imagine?
We should have gone in there, and I hate to say it this way, turn it into a parking lot because that's what they would have done to us if they got close enough to do it. And then we should have helped it become free, I guess, if that's what we were going to do. It's like we weren't that I don't think we were there for the oil, but we were there to make sure we got control of the oil to hand it off to the Iranian people. Whether or not it would be handed off, I honestly don't know. Venezuela is an example of that too.
Hmm.
So, I don't.
Okay, so we're going through and seeing more. Uh, it was not they were not shot down by enemy fire. They were
Okay.
not shot down by friendly fire. It was two KC-135 tanker planes collided into each other,
Okay.
and
So,
and, and on top of that, somewhere, someone stupid years back decided we don't need parachutes on these planes because these planes are very seldom ever involved in anything where you need to jump out of it. So no one had a parachute on those planes.
I don't understand it, but there's a lot of that war that doesn't make any sense to me. And I know it's an unpopular view to have, but why the hell are we there? I mean, I'm starting to wonder why the hell we are there. And if Trump said that he would be done within 13 or excuse me 12 days, are we at the 12 days? Are we over the 12 days? I understand he has 60 days
I think
total.
I think we're at 14 days.
Okay, so he has 12 days, no, 18 days left, right?
Well, he can go 60 days.
Yeah, so he has like 18. Okay, yeah, he has plenty of time left. But I mean, what are we there for?
You know what I think happened and happened before under Trump's watch? He riles up the people in Iran, right? Stand up for yourselves, overthrow your government. And the people say, okay, well, he's going to help us. So let's just rise up and start protesting. And of course, Iran being Iran, they start shooting and killing people.
Right.
And we keep running. Because keep it up. You're doing good. And we didn't go in the first time, and all those people died.
Right.
Now the second time, we did it again. We'll be there for you. We're going to help you. We're going to get you overthrow the government. 35,000 citizens are killed.
Right.
I think we're there because Trump. This is me. Trump feels guilty that 35,000 Iranians were killed, hoping that we'd come in and help them overthrow the government. And now we have no choice.
Well, we basically did overthrow their government. We killed the man in charge.
And the second man, the third man, but the fourth man's in charge, and he's the son of the first guy who got killed.
Right. And the son of the son of the Shah is basically, I guess, the legal PowerPoint because the Shah is no longer with us, and he said that he will come back and wants to come back, but he wants to be elected in a free and clean election. That's great, but I mean, the Ayatollah's son, who I guess is an Ayatollah himself, and maybe the next leader in Iran in that reality, I don't think he's going to come out. I think he's going to leave if he can. I think he's probably already left. I think that people don't want the Ayatollah anymore, and they're going to get that. But you're right. I mean, when do we get to the point we can go on the ground and do this? Because we don't really need to be spending billions and billions of dollars on bombs and having a war in the sky. I don't
know. They had a newscast, a news conference this morning, and they're asking decent questions. One was about the girls' school, which we admit that we bad information. We hear it. Yeah, it was our missile.
Well,
but
at least we took responsibility.
Yeah, but makes you wonder too if. I'm not saying they're trying to hide the deaths or the injuries, but one thing we need to know is that as long as we show that we're winning, the American people as a whole is going to be behind the president to get the job done. But as soon as we start seeing too many men and women are being killed or hurt, that's when you start to lose the faith of the people and the faith of you get the job done properly. They found that island, I don't know what the name of the island is, but that island has 60% purified uranium that can be used for bombs, okay?
Yep.
So at least in this case, if they're telling us the truth, we know that they have the ability to make weapons of mass destruction. And one of the questions asked is, are we going to be going in there with boots on the ground to take control of that uranium? And of course, they wouldn't answer the question because that's giving out military information. But It's the only way to get control of that uranium is either blow it up, which might be a bad thing, or for American and Israeli troops going in there and seizing control of the uranium. Um, I don't know. And here we are. We're trying to tell Russia you're a bad boy for going into Ukraine. And here we are. We're
Right,
getting involved in all these countries. And I know Russia's a
right.
bad people. They blah blah blah. But war is war. War as a whole is bad. It's like you're always saying,
It is.
why can't we break
Why
bread and
can't
sit
we
down
break
at a
bread?
table
Right.
and but you know what? War's been with us since the day of our creation.
It's been with us since the day of our creation, and the war industrial complex has become very well off by war. So, I don't understand in this war what is really happening. Freeing the people of Iran, if that's what we want to do, can't really be done from in the air above Iran.
You know,
Uh,
at some point, boots have to go on the ground inside Iran, whether it's Israeli or American or a combination of the two.
right.
I don't see England getting involved in this.
I don't see
Um,
anyone getting involved. They got enough trouble of their own.
and but England as a whole is on the way out as far as a Western independent loving nation, and the people of that country are going to be, the worst for it because they're losing their land, they're losing
Right.
their identity. Um,
They're
as it,
going to get a Muslim prime minister at some point. Is that good or bad? I don't know. Some people say it's bad. You can look at it as it being bad. You can basically kiss the Commonwealth of London and England as a whole, probably down the tubes. I don't think Prince William is going to allow it to happen. I see William as being more stronger than Charles is, and I think the people have had enough. They might just kick both the Windsor family and the Parliament out and take it over themselves.
you know, uh, what I would love to see is at the end of Trump's 4 years, him going back to England and becoming their president,
Well,
and doing the same thing for them they did for us. I mean, the people of England and Canada and Australia are asking, please come do that, come do the same for us. Speaking of Australia, look at those idiots and the Iranian girls soccer team.
yeah.
They're sending them back to be killed, and that's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I don't know the the legalities that are all involved about where you about whether or not you send the team home. But I mean, I guess you have to send the team back to Iran because they were the Iranian team, and
But but
unless
as I understand it, though, they asked for asylum because what happened was they didn't sing the national anthem at
right,
their event,
right.
and they did it knowingly that they're going to be held responsible. And then when they realized, that they're going to be returned home, only to be put to death,
Well,
they asked for asylum. Trump said, "If you don't take them, we will." So
yeah,
they put him into a hotel room. One of the girls, I understand it, had a change of heart for whatever stupid reason, and released the location of where they were being held. And that's the last I heard. So I haven't seen anything new as far as what the condition of these
I,
girls are.
I haven't either. I mean, if I thought Australia was taking them, but I guess not. Should they come? Should they get asylum in the United States? Well, you have to decide if you're going to allow people in Iran to seek asylum here, and you have to make sure this time around in the asylum world that it is done legally, and those that don't belong here are not let in. And you don't just allow everybody that can hop, skip, jump, or swim across the border to come in like Biden did. He's probably laughing at this whole thing right now, but he's probably laughing at this whole thing about everything.
Okay, see. This is CNN. I hate CNN, but this is CNN.
So we all know to take CNN with several grains of salt.
Okay, see. Members of the Iranian community in Australia have attended the Lionesses games to express their support, but ramped up efforts to stop the players' return to Iran. Mob in the team bus have returned to players' hotel. Behind closed doors, efforts were made to speak to the women, and 5 confirmed that they'd take up the offer to stay in Australia. The families of, okay, this is probably why they want to go back. The families of 3 of the 5 players have been threatened back at home. The players are joined by 2 more members who said they wanted to stay in Australia. Let's see. That's it so far. Not saying what's going on. Other than the fact that their families are being threatened, and girls being girls, they'll probably go home. They'll bite the bullet for their families. But there's no guarantee that their families will be safe after the fact.
That, and there's no guarantees that they won't be, because we are at war there, and to send them to a hostile and send them back to a hostile environment, I don't know. I mean, they do have families there, and yeah, the families are probably.
I mean, not much the fact that even if they, it looks like that the last paragraph was 6 of the 7 got asylum in Australia. This just means that for the rest of their lives, they'll probably be having
hopefully it's a temporary thing where they will be returned to their families very soon. But
I think the only way that would happen is if the government itself has a big major turnover. But right now, the girls are going to be living in fear, watching them look over their back.
Right.
Just, they have Iranian spies who are going to try and grab them and take them back to Iran.
The question becomes: is the Iranian government under the Shah, under the Ayatollah Assaullah, going to return to his ways of running the country, or are they not going to return to his way of running the country? And as far as mass executions, are they going to continue them? They say they're not going to continue them. So, we're in I don't know, because I really don't know what to do. If I had to make the decision, I don't know what to do, because the Shah's dead. The war's, the Ayatollah Assaullah is dead. The war's basically over.
Well, no, okay. The first one that was there, he's dead. They showed the second one. He's also dead. They showed the third one. He's also dead. So
the Shah of Iran passed away from old age.
You're talking about
the Shah of Iran. The Shah of Iran passed away from old age. The son, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, he is in exile, and he wants to come back, but he has said that he wants to be elected, not just put in because he's the crown prince of Iran. And that really is the way it should be. That if the Iranian citizens want him, they should elect him, but he's willing to come back with a transitional government to run Iran the way it should be run. And at some point, he understands that he may have to turn it over to someone else who won the election, or he may win the election. But
wouldn't you be afraid to be
the Ayatollah's dead? A bunch of his people are dead. So, we don't really need to extend this thing into 20 years. We just need to maybe go into the country and help Israel prop a new government in Iran, if that's the right word.
I would be afraid to be a leader in that country, not knowing, how. I mean, I love that one video. This was one Iranian comedian guy did. I mentioned it before, where the guy sits down and he's getting ready to address the nation. Next thing you know, the room blows up, and then the second one sits down. He's looking over like oh, I'm not sure. Then the room blows up. And the third guy's like, no, I don't want to do it. No, no, no. And he's forced down, and he gets blown up. I'd be afraid to be right now, especially with the way we're hitting them. I'd be afraid to be a leader of that country.
Right. And if you're only elected to die, then why bother getting elected? I mean, sooner or later in that cartoon, the reality is going to come in. No, I don't want to be the leader of Iran because the one before me died, the one before him died, the one before him died, the one before him got the original Ayatollah got killed in the war. So maybe it's wrong to be the Ayatollah, but maybe that's what Donald Trump was trying to prove. That if the Ayatollah is a religious leader, kind of like the Pope, then go back and be a religious leader, but leave the politics to the people.
Did you see the Pope has welcomed back the not Crusaders? What were they? The soldiers of back in the day. Hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick.
Okay.
Big to do.
I haven't paid much attention to the Pope, primarily because at the beginning of the Pope, he's an American. Not that his loyalties are to America as being the Pope, but I'm really starting to think that office needs a review and to be changed to serve the members of the church. And I mean, he is serving the members of the church, but he's not a politician. There's too many people trying to play politics in the political realm that just don't need to do it. I mean, brings up term limits again, and I've said that before, but I've said that Mitch McConnell should be gone because he's too old. Chuck Schumer should be gone because he's been there for a long time. Nancy Pelosi should be gone because she's been there for a long time and made a lot of money. Whether or not it was legal or not is up to the courts to decide, but she should be gone. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez should be gone just because she's dumber than a box of rocks.
I wish I could think. It's the soldiers. They're responsible for guarding something. They have this white.
The Swiss officers of it's the Swiss Army. I believe it's the Swiss Army that works as the Pope's guard.
No, there's another one where they had this helmet and this big.
Oh, okay.
If I find it, I'll Facebook it.
Okay. But you're starting to go LBD on me. You're not supposed to do that. I'm LBD enough for both of us.
Yeah, I forget. I mean, they were responsible. They were men who were responsible for protection of something very important, and they had to go into hiding because the Catholic Church turned against them.
Okay. So they're in theory they're the equivalent of our Secret Service.
No,
it's really not a secret.
I know if our mutual friend was watching, he'd know what the hell I'm talking about. Damn it! Yeah. Oh, well, I'll figure it out.
All right.
But anyways,
anybody is welcome on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast. So if anybody hears that, they're more than welcome to let me know that they want to be on.
Let's see, Pope recent news. Let's swing it this way. It drives me nuts when I know I want to say something and I can't think of it.
Okay.
Anyways,
I know what you're going through because it bothers me when I can't say it.
So, So the past couple of days, we've been having some issues with our central heat system.
Yep.
Um, uh, the temperature in our city like 3 days ago was like 75 degrees.
Yep.
So we turned the heater off. We dealt with it for a while. Got a little bit too hot in the house. Um, we turned the AC on, right? Well, the AC didn't work. I could hear the fan inside my little room was running, but the outside fan was not running at all. Um, so we turned it off. I went and I checked everything. To my knowledge, I couldn't figure it out. And then, of course, yesterday it went back to being cold again. So I turned the heat back on, and there's no heat blowing. So the house is, like I woke up this morning, the house like 60 degrees. So
Yep.
I got hold of the landlord yesterday, told him what's going on. Um, so he actually sent a guy out this morning, and he came out and looked it over. It's here all of 10, 15 minutes. And he did his test, and he said, Randy said, you have no Freon. The Freon's gone.
Okay.
And he said, the only reason why your Freon is gone is because there must be a leak inside the system. I said, okay, so how do you fix the leak? And he said, well, you don't. He said, you have to replace the entire system. And I said, oh, God. Because, central air heat systems are not cheap.
Yeah. I don't know enough about them to know whether or not you can service them. And that person would know.
So he said, so I said to him,
because I believe he's fixed his.
So it's a qualified, certified guy, furnace guy. So I said to him, I said, oh God. Yeah. So I love my landlord. He's very, very nice, very good to us. But I can't see him spending money for a new central heat system.
Well, he's going to keep renting it.
He said, well, Randy said, I've been working with him for over 40 years. And if I tell him he has to replace something, he usually replaces it. And I said, well, if he does, that's great. But that means my rent's going to go up to him for him to recoup.
Well, maybe the option then, and I know you don't want to hear it, but maybe the option is that minus the cost of a new heating system, he might be willing to sell you the price of might be willing to sell you the house. Get it off his hands, and then your responsibility is whatever you pay him minus the cost of the new furnace, because that's what it's going to cost you. I don't know Pennsylvania law, so I don't know if they can can do that or not.
He owns like 45 houses that he rents out.
Right.
He does sell the houses that he rents as long as, obviously qualify. I understand. I tried it a couple years ago when I was 2 points shy of getting a VA loan. And it's the only way to do it is for you to get a secured credit card and use it and build up your rate. So that's probably what I'm going to do this year is get that secured credit card. But right now, probably what happened is he's going to replace it because the winters, the temperature's supposed to drop back down to 20s all this week.
Yeah.
And then he'll raise the rent now. We'll just have to deal with it.
Hopefully it's all done so that you're not getting hit with a big increase all at once to satisfy the fact that he doesn't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
But then again, like I said, the option is that he might be willing to sell you the house, but not including the cost of the furnace. Again, like I said, I don't know enough about Pennsylvania law to know what's allowable. I don't know if they can sell you a house that doesn't have a broken.
No. Well, what happens is the mortgage company would come in and do an inspection of the house, and if there's anything wrong, they make the owner fix it.
Well, right, but I'm sure there are ways that they say, or the mortgage company might say, well, Mr. Rhodes will pay $20,000, hypothetically $20,000 less, because that's what it's going to cost him to buy. Especially, and they sell you the house for the price that he was going to buy it, but you get
Now,
$20,000 back.
if I'm going to do a VA loan, the VA makes the owner make sure all the repairs are done before they would qualify, before they would
Okay.
approve a VA loan. So that all would have to get done.
Then
But
the
that-
other idea is to
Is that
look at
pay higher rent.
look at the company. No, well, you could agree to paying higher rent, but I think you talk to companies that flip homes and see if they will flip the home to you.
Okay.
They buy your house from you, and then they flip the house to you. I don't know enough about that kind of stuff.
So, folks, my time is almost up. And last time when I did the playback, the song did not come across. Hopefully, I got
That's
that
right.
problem fixed. So, we tested this morning. It seems to work fine. I got my cell phone ready, so I'm going to hit play. And if I can hear my
Okay.
cell phone,
Okay.
everything's working fine. So, let me mute this.
Okay.
All day. The Southside Story, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Pull up a chair, they're talking all day. Let me introduce two great men. Dave Glovin got that wild grin. Randy Rhodes digging deep roots, history in his worn out boots. They go back like old bar stools, trading jokes, breaking all the rules. Call each other out on air, cause that's real love right there. It's Boogie with the bull. Boogie! Two friends keeping it full. They fight, they call each other out, then they laugh a little more. Politics, stories, off the cuff truth, crazy guests in the living room booth. Hit like, share, thumbs up if you will. Come Boogie with the bull. South Monday's got that slow burn. Midweek watch the tables turn. Friday they're off the chain, talking storms and sun and rain. They're like brothers in a small town bar, argue hard but they never scar. End of the night, same old song, you know that bond is strong. It's Boogie with a bull. Hey! Two friends keeping it full. They fight, they fuss, they roar, then they laugh a little more. Politics, stories, off the cuff truth, crazy guests in the living room booth. Hit like, share, thumbs up if you will. Come Boogie with the bull. Headlines, they cross every bloodline. You might shout at your screen, but you're part of the scene. Oh yeah, it's Boogie with the bull. Boogie! Two friends keeping it full. They fight, they fuss, they roar, then they laugh a little more. Politics, stories, off the cuff truth, crazy guests in the living room booth. Hit like, share, thumbs up if you will. Come Boogie with the bull.
That went across. Hey,
Then it went back on the screen. There it is.
Sunu.com, $10 a month, gets you 1,000 songs a month. The freebie version gets you 5 songs a month.
Yeah.
Now, those guys are not paid enough money.
Hulu.com, the free version gets you 5 songs
a
a
month.
day.
A day, yes, I'm sorry, a day.
So I want people to understand that, because right now I'm into free things. Like I found the driving game or the driving simulator of my dreams. I just have to log on to it and
get a table.
It's totally free. It's called Car in Map, and you pick where you want to drive, and it drops you there. So it's like I could pick Florida, and then you can go